Have you ever felt a quiet ache inside, a loneliness that settles in after a long day? Perhaps you remember a time, maybe 10 years ago, when your schedule was packed with social events, family dinners. The laughter felt constant. Now the silence is heavier. The phone rings less often. This isn't about getting older. It's about the quality of your remaining years. Are those years filled with joy, purpose, and connection? Or do they pass by unnoticed, unfulfilled? The choices you make today, in your 70s, 80s, they directly shape the experience of tomorrow. In this video, we'll explore the hidden regrets many over 70 face and the surprisingly simple steps you can take to reclaim your happiness, your purpose, and the deep connections that truly matter. Don't wait until it's too late. The time to invest in your well-being is now. Let's begin with the often overlooked epidemic stealing joy from those over 70, loneliness. The silence screamed louder than any thunderstorm ever could. That's what Margaret, a vibrant 78-year-old from Ohio, told me. Not the quiet of a peaceful evening, but a heavy, suffocating silence that pressed down on her after a day spent alone in her cozy but increasingly empty home. She described it as a constant companion, this loneliness, a phantom limb where joy used to reside. Do you know that feeling? That ache, a hollowness that no amount of knitting, no afternoon tea could ever quite fill? For years, Margaret's life buzzed with activity. She volunteered at the local library, played bridge twice a week, and shared lively dinners with her book club. Then her husband Arthur passed away. Friends moved away or passed on as well. The phone calls dwindled, the invitations ceased. The vibrant tapestry of her social life unraveled, leaving behind emptiness. It wasn't just the absence of people, it was the absence of laughter, of shared stories, of feeling truly seen and known. This isn't about the usual aches and pains of aging. This is about the silent epidemic of loneliness that quietly steals joy from the lives of millions over 70. It's a pervasive feeling, and it impacts more than just our emotional well-being. Studies show that chronic loneliness is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and even dementia. Loneliness weakens our immune systems, making us more susceptible to illness. It clouds our minds, making it harder to focus, remember, and even to simply feel hopeful. But here's the thing. Loneliness isn't a life sentence. Margaret, through the support of a thoughtful neighbor and a determined effort to rebuild her social connections, discovered that joy can be cultivated even in the quietest of moments. It takes courage, it takes effort, but the rewards, a life filled with purpose and genuine human connection, are worth every step. In this section, we'll uncover the often hidden ways loneliness impacts our lives after 70, explore why it's so prevalent, and most importantly, discuss practical strategies you can use today to reclaim the joy and connection you deserve. We'll discover how small daily acts of connection can have a profound effect on your physical and mental well-being, transforming the heavy silence into the comforting hum of a life rich in love and purpose. The journey to overcoming loneliness isn't always easy, but it is possible, and the time to begin is now. Arthur, a spry 72-year-old from Arizona, felt the weight of an empty calendar more heavily than any physical ailment. For 30 years, he'd poured his heart and soul into teaching history, shaping young minds, leaving an indelible mark on countless lives. Retirement, he'd imagined, would be a gentle transition. Instead, it felt like a sudden, jarring halt. The classroom, once a vibrant hub of intellectual exchange, now stood silent, echoing with the absence of his familiar presence. He missed the eager faces, the lively debates, the satisfying hum of intellectual energy. The days stretched out before him, monotonous and devoid of the purpose that had defined him for so long. His self-worth, intricately woven into his professional identity, unraveled with his departure from the classroom. He felt adrift, a ship without a sail, tossed about by the unpredictable currents of his newfound leisure. The quiet hum of his once satisfying days had become a deafening silence. Depression crept in, a subtle but persistent companion. He found himself staring out the window, lost in a fog of uncertainty and self-doubt. He wasn't sure what to do with himself, what to do next. This isn't just Arthur's story. It's a common experience for many who've dedicated their lives to a profession. Retirement for many marks a profound shift in identity. A life of purpose and meaning, meticulously built over decades, suddenly feels empty. The role you played, the contribution you made, these are the building blocks of your identity, and they suddenly vanish with the clocking out of your last workday. The sense of worth associated with your career disappears as quickly as the final paycheck. But what if I told you that retirement doesn't have to be the end of your purpose, but rather a new beginning? What if you could discover new passions, new avenues for fulfillment, new ways to contribute to something larger than yourself? This isn't about replacing your old life, but about crafting something just as fulfilling, perhaps even more so. Think about what truly ignites your soul. Do you have a dormant passion waiting to be awakened? Perhaps you always dreamed of painting, writing, learning a new language, or volunteering your time. Now is your chance to dedicate yourself to those pursuits. Arthur, after several months of wrestling with his sense of loss, decided to volunteer at a local history museum. He found his way back to his love of history and discovered a new passion for sharing his knowledge and his own life experience with others. He felt a surge of satisfaction, a deep sense of fulfillment that went beyond the confines of his former career. He found new friends, new connections, and a renewed sense of purpose, a feeling that helped fill the void that had seemed impossible to fill. He created a new narrative, one full of purpose, connection, and fulfillment. Begin today by identifying your hidden talents and passions. What are you good at? What did you enjoy doing before the demands of work took over your life? What is it about your past experience that you can share with others? Reflect on your life journey and explore the wealth of untapped potential that waits within you. Perhaps you could volunteer at a local charity, become a mentor, or even begin writing your memoirs. It's not about doing anything monumental, just about finding those things that awaken your soul, fill your days with joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. Rediscover the meaning and joy in your life, one small step at a time. It's never too late to create a fulfilling chapter in your life. Your purpose isn't ending, it's simply changing. And that sense of control, that's what Elsie, an 80-year-old from Vermont, yearned for as she navigated the increasingly challenging reality of arthritis. The simple act of turning a doorknob became an exercise in patience, a battle against the stiffening joints and throbbing pain. Her vibrant garden, once a source of immense joy, now felt like a distant memory, a landscape she could only admire from her window. The frustration wasn't just physical, it gnawed at her spirit, whispering doubts about her independence, her very worth. Elsie's story isn't unique. Many of us face similar physical changes as we age. The aches and pains, the limitations on mobility, the gradual fading of our youthful strength. These changes are a part of life's natural rhythm, yet they can feel like a personal affront, a theft of our independence and joy. The fear isn't simply of the pain itself, but of the loss of control, the feeling of being at the mercy of a body that no longer obeys our commands. But here's a truth to embrace. Aging gracefully isn't about denying the changes, but about adapting to them with resilience and creativity. Elsie, after many weeks of quiet frustration, discovered a solution. She began attending a chair yoga class at her local community center. Initially, she felt self-conscious, her movements hesitant and stiff, but with each session, she found something more than just improved physical flexibility. She discovered a renewed sense of self-efficacy. The gentle stretches, tailored to the abilities of the participants, brought a sense of control and agency. She was actively working to manage her pain, to maintain her independence, not just passively accepting her limitations. You too can rediscover that sense of control. Start small. Perhaps a daily walk, even just around the block, can improve your circulation and boost your mood. Explore adaptive exercise programs designed for individuals with physical limitations. Consider joining a group activity like a painting class or a book club. The social interaction can be just as vital as the physical exercise. Remember, it's not about pushing your body beyond its limits, but about finding ways to celebrate its current capabilities. It's about finding activities that bring joy and a sense of accomplishment, even on days when the physical challenges seem overwhelming. It's about fostering that spirit of resilience that allows us to face aging not with fear, but with grace and acceptance. The key is to adapt, to reimagine how you engage with the world. Maybe the garden isn't possible in the same way anymore. Perhaps you can enjoy growing herbs on your windowsill, or perhaps you can find a way to connect with other gardeners, even virtually, and share tips and stories. It's about finding new ways to enjoy the things that bring you joy, even as your physical abilities change. Don't let physical limitations define you. Let them refine you, shaping you into a more resilient, more resourceful, more vibrant person than you were before. So I encourage you, look beyond the limitations. Search for the opportunities. Remember that your life is a journey, not a destination, and that each stage, even with its challenges, holds unique beauty and fulfillment. The road may wind, but the view from the top is still worth the climb. Thomas's regret echoed a truth many of us avoid. Planning for the end isn't about death. It's about life. It's about ensuring your final chapter is written on your terms, a legacy of peace and love, not anxiety and confusion. It's about ensuring your voice is heard, even when you can no longer speak for yourself. Think about it. What truly matters to you? What stories do you want to share? What legacy do you want to leave behind? These aren't morbid questions. They're opportunities to reflect on the rich tapestry of your life, to celebrate the journey, and to give your loved ones a roadmap for honoring your memories. Perhaps you've put off these conversations, fearing the discomfort. But consider this. Unresolved issues and unspoken wishes can cast a long shadow, weighing heavily on your loved ones long after you're gone. It's a burden no one should bear alone. And honestly, it's also a burden that can cast a shadow over your own remaining years. The weight of unspoken feelings can be heavier than any physical ailment. So how do we approach this? It starts with simple steps, small conversations, shared moments, and clear intentions. Begin by talking to your loved ones. Share your wishes, your fears, your hopes for the future. Don't wait for a crisis. Create a calm space to explore these important topics. Next, consider creating a legacy letter. It's more than just a will. It's a heartfelt message, a chance to share your wisdom, your experiences, your love. Think of it as a final gift, a treasure to be cherished long after you're gone. In it, you can pass on your values, share your memories, offer guidance to the generations that will follow, and offer your blessing. It's a chance to make sure the stories you cherish are heard. And remember those advance directives? They're not just legal documents. They're a declaration of your autonomy, a way to ensure your wishes are respected, even in the face of vulnerability. These directives ensure your final chapter reflects your values and intentions and can free you from worrying about imposing burdens on your loved ones. The journey through aging isn't always easy. It's a path filled with triumphs, challenges, and moments of profound beauty. But what makes the journey truly meaningful is our ability to choose how we navigate it. It's the ability to shape our experiences, even as the sands of time shift around us. By proactively addressing end-of-life plans, we can embrace this chapter, securing peace of mind and leaving a legacy that speaks volumes of the person we were and the impact we had. Take a moment, reflect on the life you've lived, the lessons you've learned, and the love you have to share. What is the one thing you can do today to further create this legacy? Perhaps it's a phone call to a loved one, the first sentence of your legacy letter, or a quiet moment to contemplate your wishes. Share your thoughts and experiences. Your wisdom is invaluable. Let's create a community where we support each other, share our journeys, and approach this final chapter with grace, dignity, and profound acceptance. The time to invest in your well-being, in your legacy, is now. It's never too late to create a meaningful end-of-life plan, and in doing so, we are actually extending the meaning of our lives and the ripple effect of our impact on the world. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I hope that this resonates with you, and I invite you to share your experiences and wisdom in the comments below. Your thoughts matter.